So, in a turn of events that most of us couldn't have ever seen coming, EA has invited me out to Los Angeles to participate in their multiplayer reveal event for Battlefield 6. Now with this deal, I'm obligated to do a live stream, which you guys should be seeing on my channel around the time that this video goes live. And then there's this video here, which is also sponsored by EA because they wanted me to talk about the event, Battlefield 6, and what I think about the game. If you guys want to know more about Battlefield 6 and its impending release date and all of the information, you can use the link down below, go check out the website, and read up more about the game itself. This is the first time I've been able to get my hands on with the game, and after all of the leaks, all of the speculation, and a vast amount of cynicism, I am left feeling incredibly stoked for the future of this game. If what I played today is any indicator of the launch state of the game, boys, I think Battlefield might be back, and I also think Call of Duty might have to rethink their strategy moving forward. I sat down with Level Cap, Operator Drewski, and Karmacut for a day-long session of Battlefield 6, spread across Conquest, Squad Deathmatch, Breakthrough, and Domination across 4 different maps within this playtest. Now, I have to stress, this was a small slice of a much bigger project that also isn't out yet. Things could change, and truthfully, this video is based on an experience that might not be the same at launch, so I want you guys to keep that in mind as I blow your fucking brains out.
Oh yeah, tank down the street. Oh God. I'm trying to take it out. Take him out, take him out. Oh my God. Tank dead, let's go. I love this area here, fighting.
This game fucking slaps. From the incredible aesthetic that really reminds me of a true sequel to Battlefield 4, with that subtle blend of Modern Warfare 2019, like launch 2019. The game truly looks gorgeous, and I hope my footage here does it justice, because looking on the monitor, like goddamn, it truly felt like a next-gen FPS, from the lighting to the textures. It has that really deep Battlefield look to it, but obviously modern, and it's fucking killer. The sound design is one of the first things I noticed, and one thing that my entire team just kept gushing over during the games. The chunks of the tanks while you're mowing down buildings, to just the meatiness of the gunfire, and really how different each gun feels from a sound perspective. It's genuinely such a step up from previous titles that we were just gushing over it the whole time. Some new features that were brought to the game include a new dragging mechanic, which allows you to revive a teammate while on the move, dragging their useless corpse to a cover point to eventually bring them back to life. One thing I really liked about it, we saw it in the trailer and I wanted to get my hands on, you basically just walk up, you hold E, and it kind of just lets you drag them automatically, so there's not a lot of fucking around. It's very streamlined, which I was super psyched about. Medics can obviously heal faster, especially if you have defibs. You don't even need to drag them. Holy fuck yes. Defibs are back, and it's so fast to revive that it actually makes being a medic useful. And guys, maybe it's because there was a bunch of like gamers and YouTubers there who play Battlefield. There were actually medics reviving people, which felt really fucking good to see. Oh yeah, by the way, classes are back. You have Assault, Engineer, Support, Recon, all with their own signature weapons and their own class perks. I know there's going to be a lot of discussions about balancing of the classes, but in the session we had, I didn't really get enough time to like dive in and really take note of like, oh, I think this class needs to be balanced and nerfed. I just was playing the game and having a fucking blast. If there's one thing I can say right now based on the experience we had, they have to nerf the fucking shotgun. The range on that motherfucker, it's like a sniper rifle. You can sprint and there's no like sprint to shoot delay. You can just be sprinting and you just body somebody if you're close range. If you hit your shot, they're essentially dead. Shotgun needs a little bit of a tuning. I already brought it up to their community manager. I said, hey, you know, he came up and asked me like what I think about the build. I said, look, you got to nerf the shotgun. His response, yeah, we already know that for sure. It's going to happen. So not too worried about the balancing issues to me. I just want to make sure that this game isn't a buggy fucking mess at launch. And like I said, if what I played today is any indication of what the game's going to be like at launch, we're fucking eating. We can talk about balancing issues, nerfing guns all day. That's like low-hanging fruit changes that the community can suggest and the developers can implement. When it comes to like bug fixing and crazy shit that, I mean, we've been around the block with, it usually takes a lot longer and usually people don't have the patience to stick around. I don't think that's going to happen here at all. In terms of the game modes themselves that we played today, we played Domination, Squad Deathmatch, Conquest, and Breakthrough. Now, as like I guess I'd call myself a Battlefield veteran. I've played since the very beginning. I play Battlefield for Conquest, and I play it for Rush. I'll play Breakthrough because it's kind of like Rush, and it feels good. There's actually like a focused objective. But if I could criticize one thing about this event, it's the fact that they had us playing a lot of like Squad Deathmatch, Domination, and just very like small game modes like that, which is not really why I play Battlefield in the first place. I'm not saying they play bad, they actually played pretty good for those modes, but I found myself like all day just wishing we would just play a shit ton more Conquest. I really only got a few rounds on that mode and I had a blast playing it and I just wanted more. What also really wasn't present for me today was any sort of defining map design. As somebody who has watched Battlefield grow from 1942 all the way to now, there are maps that everybody can point to and just the most memorable fucking maps that you can remember. Siege of Shanghai, North Shore Canal, Strike at Karkan. All of those maps had one thing in common. Their points of interest were actually interesting. If there's one thing I can say coming out of this play session today is that while the maps look great and while they have areas that are great combat encounter areas, like different arenas around the map, I didn't really get the sense that any of these maps are just memorable in any sense. I couldn't even tell you the name of one. I felt like we were missing that like Domovan Peak moment where you're like diving off the edge and dropping down. There's really just no like defining map that I can say and point to and go, oh fuck, I remember playing on that one. Obviously I remember like we had Liberation, we had Cairo or Siege of Cairo, but honestly, like I'm kind of left going like, while they look pretty and while I think they play pretty well, I was missing that old school like Battlefield crazy point of interest. Like there was really no like levolution, a lot of awesome destruction, but like the maps themselves are, they're kind of forgettable at this point. But again, maybe that's just because I didn't have a whole fuckload of time to play today. Maybe in the future that'll change, but that's just kind of the general sentiment I and a lot of others that I spoke to today kind of felt. Another feature they brought to the game is the ability to hang off the back of tanks and hitch a ride, which I think is fucking awesome. There was a few moments where I saw players doing it and you were just kind of able to shoot them off the back. And it's goofy, it's janky, and probably not the best way to get around the map because you're just fully exposed and there's nothing you can do about it, but it is cool to see. Overall, my thoughts coming out of this event are positive. I'm genuinely blown away at the fact that I played Battlefield all day today and had fun, and I don't think I ran into a single issue in terms of like a bug or any sort of like game breaking issue or like crazy jank or like it was a very polished slice of what I'm hoping is going to be just a much bigger game when it launches in October. I was speaking to a few creators who were like hanging out outside the event after we were done playing, and the general sentiment here is very, very positive, and a lot of people went into this feeling incredibly cynical, much like me, but they ended up having a fucking blast. So like, man, I don't know, like we obviously got to see what the full game's gonna be like. At the time of watching this video, you guys are probably gonna find out that there is going to be an open beta or a couple open beta weekends. And all I can say is if the game launches on October 10th and plays and looks and feels and performs like what I saw today, the Battlefield fan base actually has a game that they can sink their fucking teeth into and have a good time. But that's all going to come down to what EA does over the next couple of months. Obviously, they're going to be having an open beta or a couple open beta weekends. The one thing I can give them a lot of credit for this time around is that you don't have to pre-order to get into it. And when they were doing their presentation for all the creators, they basically said, like, we don't want you to put money up. We just want you to play the game and find out if you like what you see before spending money, which I think is very admirable. Now, I think they're also opening up pre-orders. And before I came to this event, I was in the camp of like, I'm not going to pre-order unless it gives you access to a beta to where I could actually get my hands on. I like that they're doubling down and saying, fuck that. We just want you to jump in and see if you like it for yourself first. So you can see the mentality from 2042 has shifted significantly. And even some of like the EA staff that I spoke to while I was out here, they know that everybody is coming into this event, not necessarily looking for blood, but knowing that we're going to be looking at absolutely every move they fucking make to see if it passes the sniff test. I know I have this sponsorship deal. I know I'm streaming at the event and I know they flew me out there, but just thinking about the game itself, take all of that shit out of the equation. I think these guys actually fucking cooked. Now, obviously, there's a lot of unanswered questions that we won't know until later. What does their post-launch content pipeline look like? Are we getting one fucking map a season again like we did with 2042? Or are we going to spend time fixing maps? Like, what does that look like? I hope that they've talked about this by the time this video goes out, but the portal mode actually looks sick as fuck too. In the presentation for us, they showed off like, it looks like somebody built like an only up version, but in Battlefield. So there's a lot more like modding support that players can actually do to make community servers better. This feels like a major shift and a course correction from 2042, which is all we ever wanted them to do post-launch for that game. But I actually think they fucking put something together here that is going to make Call of Duty sweat for the first time in a long time. I'm actually psyched. At the time of recording this video, I'm just chilling in my hotel. I'm going to be streaming the event tomorrow. You guys, it'll be today for you guys. It's a little confusing with the timelines, but I'm super psyched to just go back there tomorrow and play more Battlefield. I know I'm going to be streaming. I know it's a sponsored thing. I don't care about that. I'm just super glad that this game is in a state where I'm seeing a lot of creators just come outside the event and just laugh and talk about crazy moments with shotguns, or when they dived around that corner and killed this guy, or when we took out this tank and got a fucking quad kill. It's feeling like Battlefield again for the first time in so fucking long. And I wasn't even gonna make a video about it. I was just gonna wait, do my sponsored thing, and then do videos afterwards. But I'm just sitting in my hotel just thinking about the day, and I'm like, I gotta do something. So yeah, guys, I wanted to make a video just kind of discussing it, discussing my thoughts. This build that we played was fucking cool, and I really hope they just take that momentum, bring it through to the open beta, and then put it out. And man, in October, shit, dude, that's gonna be so fucking awesome if they can keep the momentum and actually put out a product that rivals what I just played today. As always, my name is Big Fry. I want to give a shout out to every single person who follows the channel, subscribes, and watches the content. Without you guys, I wouldn't get these kind of opportunities to begin with. This week has been incredibly eye-opening for me. I met a lot of creators who I look up to in this space that I didn't think even knew who I was, but we just had great conversations. I was able to leave the fucking house for once in my life. And I just appreciate you guys supporting the channel and allowing me to do these kind of things. And as always, it doesn't matter if I'm sponsored or not. I'm gonna tell it like it fucking is. If your game is ass, I'm just not gonna do the sponsorship. And if there's things I wanna talk about and criticize, much like I did with previous videos, like my Splitgate 2 video, I know people have a really hard time trusting YouTubers nowadays, especially with so much sponsored money being spent and just crazy marketing budgets. I'm glad that I have a community that understands that that shit is really weird and kind of off-putting, but you guys can look through and weed through the bullshit and know I'm gonna tell it like it is. I'm gonna tell you exactly what I experience and how I'm feeling, and it is what it is. So thank you guys for watching. My name is Big Fry, and I'll see you on the battlefield.